everybody. Welcome to some vintage motoring here in the Angeles Forest. This is Matt. Thank you for coming out with a sweet little caged Datsun 510 wagon. And dash signed by John Morton, the legend. Oh, that's a real nerd. You got a lot of girls like that one?
Is he famous?
Yeah. Yes, he is. Tell me about your 510. The last one I drove was like not a 510 anymore. So tell me about this one.
So this is a fairly old school build. It's a 2.1 liter, essentially a stroked out 2 liter motor.
Okay.
SU carbs, 5-speed 280ZX transmission. The rear and the wagons is a live axle.
Okay.
So it's
as opposed
live
to
axle,
independent with the coupes and the sedans?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's a live axle with leaf springs. So in order to get around that, what we did is we did composite leaf springs in the back. So kind of like a Corvette.
Like a Corvette?
Spring.
Is it a transverse leaf spring?
It's not.
So it's really ox cart, one on each side. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's got a set of traction bars and a sway bar.
Okay.
And some QA1 adjustable shocks and coilovers in the front.
All right.
4 pots.
And I mean, this has a cage in it, or a roll bar.
It's a bar.
Least.
It's just a sufficient bar.
Well, so, and then it's completely eliminated the back seat, and so presumably you have sporting aspirations for this car.
Oh yeah, it's an autocross car.
Okay.
It used to be double as my daily. I just bought a 92 Sentra SER.
Oh, those are fun. Yeah, I had to go one of those. Okay.
Yeah, well,
That's
actually, your video was the thing that finally pushed me over the edge. I was like,
cool.
okay, that's the one that I want.
Yeah, it's neat.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what this thing's about. I'm excited. I love a good 510. We're going to go downhill first. No power steering, but
it's
very light. What does this thing weigh?
So stock they were 2150, and it's probably still about 2150 because I've torn a bunch of stuff out of it, but then I've added a cage, and the motor's a little heavier. The transmission's a little heavier.
All right, we gotta go windows up. We're gonna cook, but they need to hear us. So what's weird right off the bat, first 2 shifts is the precision feel of the clutch and the shifter and the controls. It's not sloppy at all. It's like stick right into the gear, easy. Listen to that! Hey, go! All right, you said manual brakes. Yep, and you gotta prime them. So every stop is a double pump.
Yep.
So explain that. So basically, as you're driving,
you'll tap the brakes because the brake pads have reset themselves up back in the caliper. So you gotta set them because you don't have any power assist. They don't keep themselves up against the rotors.
Right.
So you gotta set them up and then jam on the brakes in order to really get them to stop.
So as we're going to the corner, one press, and then the second one stops you.
Yeah.
The first one does fuck all.
Nope. Doesn't do anything.
So every time into the corner is a double pump, which is okay once you get used to it, but boy is that a tricky thing to figure out on your own.
Well, it's real fun when you get back into a car with a real brake pedal, and you do that, and you scare the crap out of everyone in the car.
Right. Well, the shifter assembly is really nice and precise, easy to find the right gear. Feels lively. You said like 2,000 pounds, 2,100 pounds.
2,000 pounds, and this motor, on a good day, is making about 130 foot-pounds of torque and 130 horsepower at the wheels. So
steering on center, very direct.
Yeah, I just put a new alignment on this car now that it's not my daily. It's got about 2 degrees of negative camber in the front.
Oh, so it turns in good.
Oh, yeah. So there's still one more thing to do in the front. I got to get the control arms readjusted because the geometry's messed up on it because I lowered the car too far.
So have you done all this yourself?
My dad and I did the majority of the work, especially early on. And then when we got to things like the new motor, we had someone build the motor. But we collected parts. It was pulling things out of junkyards and dropping them off. We did all the assembly, and then the only other thing that we don't do is fabrication.
Right.
Because it's just not really feasible.
So you're doing the installs.
Doing the installs, and I'm doing I munched a cam, so I put a new cam in it. Last Monday the clutch seized on me.
Oh no.
And I freaked out pretty good. But I got that done, and it was. So it's not. This is a different clutch than it used to have. I used to have a custom clutch in it that was much heavier, which made it
this clutch is very light.
Yeah, this is a stock 280ZX clutch. The previous one was a mishmash of a few things that I think put the power down a little bit better and was a little bit sportier feeling, or a little bit more race car feeling. But
race car feeling's overrated. If it's strong enough to hold the power,
yeah.
For me, like the fact that they have like the Dodge Hellcat now, you know, has 700 pounds of torque with a very light clutch pedal.
Yeah.
The fact that that exists to me means I have no more tolerance for heavy clutches.
Yeah.
Fuck them. This is great. The viewer may be able to tell that I have to think about every corner to do the double pump, but it's lovely and light and responsive.
The nice thing is that when you have to work for it, it makes it feel much more satisfying when you get it right.
Yeah.
That's my favorite part about it.
And I like going through the gears too. It's just got a good feel from the shifter
and it's a stock shifter. It's just got a different shift knob on it, and I put some new bushings in it when we first put the transmission in.
No, it works, man. This is good. But so we've gone downhill. I think this car really needs to be driven hard up the hill.
Yeah.
Where you're not just
gravity
assisting on the brakes. We're gonna loop her around here and see what she's got on the uphill. I bet it's good. Good. It's good little tight turning radius. Look at that. All right, power. Yeah, going through the gears is really satisfying in this car. Good direct gearbox. Better than the last E30 BMW I drove.
Well, that's what I set out to do. I wanted to make it better than an E30.
Was that your goal? Better than an E30?
Better than an E30.
All right, well, I just spent last weekend, I did almost 8 hours worth of stints in our chunk car E30, 24 hours of VIR.
Yeah.
And so this has better steering than an E30. It has better gearbox feel than an E30. The E30 has better brakes. This is lighter, but the E30 is a little more spacious and refined.
Yeah, well,
The E30's got more power, but not by much. More torque, maybe, but not a lot more power. But you're close.
Yeah, well,
You're definitely in the same ballpark for sure.
I'm eventually going to take this motor back apart, and it's going to get a better head and a better set of carburetors. It's going to go to a set of dual 44 side drafts, and it's going to get some real good head porting done eventually. I'm hoping.
Now, for all of that work, have you considered the SR20 route for that? Because you're talking about machining this motor and all that. That's stuff you have to outsource.
Yeah.
And if you can do an install, certainly you could buy a motor from Japan and drop it in, right?
Yeah, you could. For me, this car is sitting a little bit in between it's vintage and it's like truly vintage because it's still got an old motor in it. But the SR swaps have become so common that I almost don't find them unique anymore. So
I get it.
I have less interest in them. It's almost more unique to show up at an event
without one.
Yeah. You pop the hood and everyone kind of has to stare and think about it for a minute because it's like, wait a minute, he didn't put an SR in it, or he didn't put a KA in it.
I get that. That makes sense.
So,
I mean, my Mustang's got the old school motor in it because that's what I want, not because that was the practical decision.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. The uphill section is really what it's about.
Yeah. Well, that's where it really becomes apparent that the motor makes really pretty good torque, despite being a old school inline four.
Not bad. Wow, this thing is fun. The funny thing about when I drove Rick's SR20 swapped 510, it was like almost too fast for its own good. It was really a lot of work to manage the power and the speed and the brakes. At this level, it's all kind of in harmony.
Yeah.
I feel like the engine's not overpowering the car, and
Like 350 horsepower. It's gonna be a little reckless.
That's gonna be a handful, that car.
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. I'd love to have a go on a short racetrack with this.
Yeah, I do autocross with it. I've been
I bet it's fun.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
Mostly second gear for you?
Yeah, it's pretty much entirely second gear, except I race with the PCN, the Porsche guys, and so they always put a very large straight on theirs. 'Cause, you know, they like to use the
go
power.
fast.
Yeah, exactly. So there's another guy who goes to that has a real race car 510, and he tops out third gear in that at about 85 miles an hour on an autocross, which is pretty silly.
Well, I'll tell you what, Matt. Really neat car. A lot of fun. Oh, yep, the cam doesn't like idling.
No.
A lot of fun. Very light, responsive. The brakes, you know, you take some getting used to, but they're
Just pull it straight up.
Oh, straight.
Yep.
There we go. Okay. And yeah, there we go. I like the seating position, and the inputs are really fun. Dude, I'm with you. Super cool. Great build, man.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Thanks for having me out here.
Thank you for letting me have a quick go in it. I really enjoyed that. That really capped off a fun day in the canyons. That was excellent. Thank you for watching. Thank Matt for bringing it out, and I'll see all you fools tomorrow. Later.